Greetings everyone, welcome to Chess Advance. This game was played in Clutch Chess Legends, and now this is the second Blitz game. The first Blitz game actually ended with the vicious in the end game he was not able to find the right move, and Garry was able to win that one. But now with the black pieces, he's going to have to face one of the most fiercest attacker of it all, so it's going to be very difficult to try and hold off, and definitely the momentum is on Garry's side as well. So without further ado, let's start this game. Let's see what happens here. Just e4 by Garry. We have e6, d4 and d5. Now just knight to c3, d captures, knight captures and bishop to b5, and just going for this knight to e2, just defending, and hit knight to c6, knight to c5, and just bishop captures immediately on e2, queen captures, knight captures on d4, attacking the queen, queen to c4, and just b5. And this b5 move is a spectacular move. To be able to find this on the board, that too with seconds, I don't think he even spent 30 seconds on this. That's how strong this move was. And the thing is that now it's a completely winning game, as you can see by the engine evaluation. And the thing is that it's going to be very difficult to try and do anything here. Queen to d3 was played, but now you know what's coming. What is coming is just absolutely epic hit. Just queen to g5 check, hitting very nicely with this, and now you will also be defending the knight with it. I mean, what more do you need from the opening? Here just f4. Now just comes queen caps on c5, and now he's a complete piece up right from move 10. I mean, what more can you ask for from the opening? They just bishop to f2, and now just a very nice queenside castle. Here a queenside castle by Garry as well, and it looks like you cannot save the piece, but the thing is that you actually can. Here g6 was played, and now I mean adding an extra defender here in this position, and now just c3. I mean, this is the only move that makes sense in the position, because obviously you cannot capture because the pawn is pinned, but you know you are putting some pressure here, and you cannot move this because the bishop is pinning the queen. So the move that you want to play in this position is not that difficult to spot, because what you want to do is you want to get rid of this pin. You also want to make the king side a little bit weak. Your two pieces are already very active. Let's just make use of them. You play b4, and b4 is a very nice move in this position. Here if you go for bishop captures, then after bishop captures, king to b1, the thing is that I just trade and everything is fine for me. There is no reason for me to worry about. Pin has just eviscerated, my rooks are connected. There is no reason that I cannot move the bishop back, and yeah, my position is absolutely fine. But the thing is that if you go for king to b1 now, then what happens? Then b captures on c3. After b captures, now you go for queen to b5 check, asking for a trade of queens, and after queen captures, knight captures, you are just completely winning. Even if you go for rook captures, just king captures, and this position, there is nothing you can do in this position. But obviously none of that happened. Knight to e7 was played, and now comes g4, and g4 is a very strong move, because it just, I mean, you're not going to be able to find the move that is actually the best move in this position. Let's see what happens if you play b4. If you play b4, the trouble is now queen to a6 check. Cannot go there, otherwise you just get checkmated. So king to d7, but now comes bishop caps on d4, and after bishop captures, rook captures. This comes to the check, and good luck defending this position. This position is just very difficult to defend. But here after g4, you could also go for the best move in this position. I'm gonna ask you to pause the video, try and find out this only winning move. I mean, no one finds this in a million years, and if you're able to find this, I mean, just huge kudos to you. I was not able to find this. This is a very difficult move to spot. How about it? So congratulations to everyone who's able to find this move. The move is rook to d6. That's right, just doubling up the just trying to have this rook lift, which normally, you know, you would think that you would be able to find this, but finding it in the blitz game and the environment, all of this, I mean, this is very difficult. The thing is, after queen to e4, I mean, it's not just finding the move, it's just that you want to find the idea behind the move, and the idea behind the move is absolutely crazy, because queen to e4, you play queen to c6, and after this bishop captures, queen captures, you play bishop caps on e4, and this bishop pair at the center of the board is looking like absolute crazy. And now if you count the number of pieces, you're not a piece up anymore. So if you go for bishop caps on d4 now, rook captures, and pawn captures, you want to play you want to play this f5, and after g caps on f5, you play knight caps on f5, and after you trade everything, if you count the number of pawns, now you have actually 6 pawns for Vishy and 5 pawns for Garry. And the thing is that this position is now completely winning. And why is that? Because Vishy sir has actually 3 pawn islands, and Garry has actually 4 pawn islands, and that's the only reason. These pawns are hanging pawns. You're going to lose them. You're going to lose them very soon, and that's the reason that this position is completely winning. But the thing is that after g4, here knight to d5 was played, and now you explain it to me. How is it that here after bishop captures, queen captures, and rook captures, how do you not reach the same endgame? Because the thing is that now comes knight to e4, and after rook captures, which is a thought that this position might just be, this endgame would be completely winning even after this. But the thing is that after rook to g1, c5, and now after bishop to f3, knight to c4, bishop to e2, and if you go for this knight caps on b2, then you're completely winning. Amazing tactic spot, by the way, as well, because if you go for king captures, rook to d2, king to b3, rook caps on e2, completely winning position. There is nothing you can do now. King cannot move forward. You're losing the pawns. A rook is inside your position. This is just resignable. But after bishop to e2, Vishisov was not able to find this. He went for this knight to d6, rook to g3, and now just comes f5, and still winning, still winning. But the move that you want to find to be able to win this after rook to s3 is rook to h8. You want to preserve that pawn, and normally, I mean, I'm all up for trying to just save pawns, but the thing is that why would you want to put the rook on h8 back to the initial square? I mean, not the initial square in chess 960, but still, I mean, no one wants to play that move. And if you go for b4, then just comes a6, g captures, e captures, b captures, and after this knight to e4, this position is just so shattered, and that's the problem. It's just very difficult to try and do anything in this position. But after rook to s3, hey, rook to d7 was played. Seems like the same thing that you're achieving with this, but the trouble is now there are some moves which you can use to actually win the game. I mean, draw the game, and that actually a win, because once you figure out that you were a piece down right from the opening, and now you're able to draw this. This is just very difficult. It's just rook to e3. Now you play this rook to e7, rook to e5, c4, and hey, just bishop to f3 was played, and the pieces are getting active, and it's very difficult to try and do anything. King to d7, but now just comes a4, b caps on a4, and now just rook to a5. We have f captures, first attacking the bishop, rook caps on a7 with a check, rook to e8, rook cap. First rook to 8, rook to 8 check, king to f7, bishop caps on g4 and h5, and now unfortunately this position is a draw. There is nothing you can do. Bishop to d1 was played, but now just comes king to f6, rook to a5, h4, bishop caps on a4, and just e5 was tried, but this doesn't work either. If you go for knight to f5 in this position, maybe you can try something, but after rook to a6, rook to c7, rook to c6, you just trade everything, and this position is still a draw. But after bishop captures here, e5 was played, f captures, rook captures, and king captures, and now we're just ending and going for a draw here. b3 was tried, but just going for this g5, and after b caps on c4, we have knight caps on c4, and after this bishop to c6, g4. Now king to d1, trying to push that pawn, but it's very difficult to do anything here. Bishop to d5, g3 was tried, but now just comes h captures, and c4, and here knight caps on c4 was played, bishop captures, and it was on this move that this was a draw by insufficient material. So definitely, I mean, the first game was completely winning, the first rapid game. Second game, it was a draw. I mean, there was not much chances there, but the third game, Vishy sir was actually just completely in a place where he could have drawn the game. He could have tried to do something to put pressure as well, but he just made one mistake, and after that it just all came apart. And this fourth game was completely winning, completely winning. You're just a piece up by move 10, and it just doesn't happen. I mean, all of those things, it just never happens. I mean, in completely, I mean, having of the 4 games, you have a pressure in 3 of the games, and you're still not able to convert any of the 3 games, and you just make one blunder and you lose the game, and you don't have the advantage anymore. It's just absolutely crazy. But sometimes, you know, chess is brutal in that regard, really. But the thing is that no reason to worry about. They have 2 more days of play. Let's see what happens there. For watching, I'll be coming back with some amazing games of clutch chess that is happening, so stay tuned for that and stay updated, and I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon. Thank you very, very much for watching.